Well, hello there. Welcome back to Storytime. It is so good to see you. If this is your first time joining us, my name is Miss Martha Grace, and I am so glad that you are here with us today. Now, as you might have noticed, I brought my electric keyboard today so that we could have a little music to sing and dance our way through story time. So, with a press of a button, you might hear a sound that sounds like this. Or I might press another button and you'll hear a sound that sounds like this. Or even, if we're feeling particularly silly, you might hear a sound that sounds like this. But that's not until later. So I think that we should dive straight in today with our hello song. So I will play the piano and sing a little bit, and then the piano will play some notes that you can follow along with to echo what I sing back to you. You ready? You sure? Okay, here we go. Hello there, how are you? It's so good to see you. We'll sing and be happy, 'cause we're all here together again. Beautiful job. Let's do that one more time. I'll sing the words, and then you repeat it back to me, and you'll have the piano underneath to sing along with. Cool? Here we go. Hello there, how are you? It's so good to see you. We'll sing and be happy, 'cause we're all here together again. Very nice. I feel like we are so welcomed, and we're welcoming our neighbors today, which I think is a perfect way to get into our stories today, because our stories today are all about neighbors helping each other and their communities. So, without further ado, let's get into our first story of the day. Now, this story I love because I love cats. I have two cats, a cat named Phoebe and a cat named Arthur. And this story is about a cat named Sid. Dinner Sid. So this is Sid. He's a black cat. He's got kind of a smirk on his face, a smirk like a smile. And he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dishes in front of him. And the book is called Dinner Sid. What do you think is going to happen with each of these 6 dishes? Could be. Let's find out! Sid lived at number 1 Aristotle Street. So that's the street he lives on with all the different houses, and that's Sid. He also lived at number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, and number 6. Sid lived in 6 houses so that he could have 6 dinners. Each night he would slip out of number 1, where he might have had chicken, into number 2 for fish, on to number 3 for lamb, liver at number 4, fish again at number 5, ending at number 6 with beef and kidney stew. And he is getting a little bit full. He's going, oh, little hiccup, excuse me, and a full tummy. Since the neighbors did not talk to each other on Aristotle Street, they did not know what Sid was up to. They all believed the cat they fed was theirs and theirs alone. So there's some of Sid's owners on Aristotle Street. Oh, and she goes, oh, isn't it nice that everyone likes my cat? And this guy goes, I wonder why that guy's petting my cat. And this guy's going, oh, it's my cat. And this guy's going, who's petting my cat? And this person goes, petting my cat? But they don't talk to each other. But Sid had to work hard for his dinners. It wasn't easy being 6 people's pets. He had 6 different names to remember and 6 different ways to behave. When he was being Scaramouche, Sid put on swanky airs in his fancy pillow. As Bob, he had a job. So he's going after this little mouse in the mouse hole. He was naughty as Mischief and silly as Sally. As Sooty, he smooched. But as Schwartz, he had to act rough and tough. So he's chasing this dog away from the property. Whew! All this work sometimes wore Sid out. But he didn't care as long as he had his 6 dinners. And besides, he liked being scratched in 6 different places. Have you ever pet a cat before? Sometimes they just like it right behind the ears, but it looks like Sid has all different favorite spots to be scratched. And he liked sleeping in 6 different beds. Ooh, which of these beds looks coziest to you? Oh, he's going after a little fly. I think this one's pretty cushy. He's got a whole big bed to himself in this one. In fact, life on Aristotle Street was just about perfect for Sid until one cold, damp day he caught a nasty cough. The next thing he knew, he was being taken to the vet. Poor Sid. He was taken not once, not twice, but 6 times. He went with 6 different people in 6 different ways. The vet said Sid's cough wasn't nearly as nasty as it sounded, but to be on the safe side, he should have a spoonful of medicine. Do you think he's just going to have 1 spoonful? I don't think so either. Of course, Sid didn't just have 1 spoonful, he had 6. Okay, all right. I'm not happy about that. Fine. No. Medicine doesn't taste very good sometimes. I feel bad for him. Now, one black cat does look very much like another, but nobody, not even a busy vet, could see the same cat 6 times without becoming suspicious. Sure enough, when he checked in his appointment book, the vet found 6 cats with a cough, all living on Aristotle Street. So he called the owners at once. And oh dear, Sid was found out. They do not look very happy that they have each been feeding him 6 dinners. When they discovered what he had been up to, Sid's owners said he had no business eating so many dinners. They said in the future they would make sure that he only had 1 dinner a day. He doesn't look very happy about that plate of food. But Sid was a 6 dinner a day cat. So he went to live at number 1, Pythagoras Place. He also went to live at number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, and number 6. So he lives on a new street now. Unlike Aristotle Street, The people who lived in Pythagoras' place talked to their neighbors. So right from the start, everyone knew about Sid's 6 dinners. So there they are, all looking at Sid and talking to each other and having a good time. And because everyone knew, nobody minded. So he's kind of the neighborhood cat now on Pythagoras' place, and everybody's taking care of him in a different way. So I think that that's really nice that at the end he ended up on a street where he had neighbors who talked to each other to make sure that he was getting the food that he needed. And it's kind of funny that if the neighbors on Aristotle Street had only chatted with each other, they might have found out from the beginning that Sid was pretending to be a bunch of different cats. Very fun. All right, I think it's time to get some of our wiggles out. So I think that we are gonna have a little freeze dance break. Now I'm gonna dance sitting down because if I stand up, all you will see are my knees and my hands and my dinosaurs wearing sweater socks, which while they're very fun socks, it does make it a little bit hard to dance when all you can see are my knees. So please feel free to stand up on your feet or sit down if you prefer, and you can use your shoulders and your hands and your head to dance, just like me. Or you can get up and freestyle. So the way that this is gonna work, I'm gonna use my fun machine here, and we're gonna have some beats that will play. Now when the beats are going, dance to the tempo of the beat. So if it's a really, really fast beat, we're gonna dance really, really, really fast. And if it's a really cool, slow beat, we're gonna dance really slow. If the music stops, what do you think we're gonna do? That's right, we're gonna freeze like a statue. Are you ready? I'm ready. All right, here we go. First beat. Okay. If you're on your feet, maybe get your feet going into it. Maybe cross your arms, shake out your hands, nod your head. Oh, and freeze, don't move. Don't move, don't move, don't move. And back to dancing, back to dancing. Woo, 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 woo. Don't move. Everybody should stay frozen. Oh, don't move just yet. No, don't move. I saw you in the back. Don't move. It's kind of got a rocking motion to it. So maybe sway to one side, then sway to the other side. Maybe turn in a circle and move your hands like a noodle. Stop. You can breathe, but stay frozen. This one has little pointy beats. So point with your fingers, point with your nose, point with your toes, and stop. Go. And freestyle. Move your hands way up in the air and shake them all around. You want to get the wiggles out so we can go on and on and on and on. I couldn't think of a rhyme, and that's okay. And that's okay. We're gonna dance the wiggles away. There's the rhyme, and then we stop. Very nice. Let's shake all of those wiggles out if they weren't already shook out. Very nice freestyle dancing to the silly electric piano beat. That was very fun. I think it's time for us to settle back in for our second story of Storytime. Now this story is called Officer Buckle and Gloria. So this is Officer Buckle in the officer suit, and this is Gloria. What kind of animal is Gloria? She's a dog. So we had Sid the cat in our first story, and now we have Gloria the dog. And let's see what these two characters are going to get up to in Officer Buckle and Gloria. Officer Buckle knew more safety tips than anyone else in Napville. Every time he thought of a new one, he thumbtacked it to his bulletin board. So it looks like he's come up with a lot of safety tips. Safety tip number 77, never stand on a swivel chair, because swivel chairs have wheels on the bottom. So if you stand on it, it moves. And then what happens if the chair moves while you're on it? That's right, you can fall down, just like he's fallen down off the chair. So he made a safety tip so that he could tell other people that that's not a good idea. Officer Buckle shared his safety tips with the students at Napville School. Nobody ever listened. Sometimes they were snoring. Afterwards, it was business as usual. Mrs. Topple, the principal, took down the welcome banner. This welcome banner says, Napville School welcomes Officer Buckle. Never stand on a swivel chair, said Officer Buckle, but Mrs. Topple didn't hear. So she's very lucky that nothing's going to run into her. But it looks like this school could use some safety tips. We've got somebody who slipped on water, and this person has their shoes untied and is tripping, and this person has books that are too tall and it's bonking somebody on the head. I think that these kids would do a good job to listen to these tips. Then one day, Napville's police department bought a police dog named Gloria. When it was time for Officer Buckle to give the safety speech at the school, Gloria went along. Children, this is Gloria, announced Officer Buckle. Gloria obeys my commands. Gloria, sit. And Gloria sat. She's got a little star on her collar. A little police star, I think. Officer Buckle gave safety tip number 1, keep your shoelaces tied. The children sat up and stared. And this is what they were staring at. Looks like Gloria might be starting to act out some of the safety tips. Officer Buckle checked to see if Gloria was sitting at attention. She was, like a good pup. Safety tip number 2, said Officer Buckle. Always wipe up spills before someone slips and falls. The children's eyes popped. So what has she done? She's acted out slipping and falling and what it would look like. Officer Buckle checked on Gloria again. Good dog, he said. Officer Buckle thought of a safety tip that he had discovered just that morning. Never leave a thumbtack where you might sit on it. The audience roared. Oh! She's acting out, sitting on a thumbtack. That wouldn't feel very good either. Officer Buckle grinned. He said the rest of his tips with plenty of expression. The children clapped their hands and cheered, and some of them laughed until they cried. Officer Buckle was surprised. He had never noticed how funny safety tips could be. After this safety speech, there wasn't a single accident. So she's doing a good job of demonstrating what happens if you don't follow all of his safety tips. The next day, an enormous envelope arrived at the police station. It was stuffed with thank you letters from the students at Napville School. This one says, Dear Gloria and Officer Buckle, thanks for coming to our school. You are nice. Your friend, George. And look at all of these. Every letter had a drawing of Gloria on it. Officer Buckle thought that the drawings showed a lot of imagination. So it shows all of the different ways she acted out. So does Officer Buckle know that Gloria is acting out all of these things while he's giving his speeches? No, I don't think he does either. His favorite letter was written on a star-shaped piece of paper. It said, You and Gloria make a good team. Your friend, Claire. And she's drawn a picture of Officer Buckle and Gloria. And she's drawn a picture of herself. P.S. I always wear a crash helmet. Safety tip number 7. So she does a good job of listening to his safety tips. And so she wears a little helmet, crash helmet. Officer Buckle was thumbtacking Claire's letter to his bulletin board when the phone started ringing. Grade schools, high schools, and daycare centers were calling about the safety speech. Officer Buckle, they said, our students want to hear your safety tips, and please bring along that police dog. So here's all the schools calling in, and he's really excited. And Gloria goes, oh, I like all these letters. Officer Buckle told his safety tips to 313 schools. Everywhere he and Gloria went, children sat up and listened. So there's one in a classroom and on a stage. After every speech, Officer Buckle took Gloria out for ice cream. Officer Buckle loved having a buddy. So all these kids want to get her autograph for all of her acting skills. And then they have a buddy moment where they get to have some ice cream together. Then, one day, a television news team videotaped Officer Buckle in the State College auditorium. So there's the news cameras. What do you think's going to happen? I don't know, maybe. Let's see. When he finished safety tip number 99, do not go swimming during electrical storms. The students jumped to their feet and applauded. Bravo! Bravo! They cheered. Officer Buckle bowed again and again. That night, Officer Buckle watched himself on the 10 o'clock news. Why is he so surprised? Who is he seeing for the first time? Yes, he's seeing in the television Gloria acting out the tips for the very first time. The next day, the principal of Knappville School telephoned the police station. Good morning, Officer Buckle. It's time for our safety speech. Officer Buckle frowned. I'm not giving any more speeches. Nobody looks at me anyway. Oh, said Mrs. Topple. Well, how about Gloria? Can she come? Someone else from the police station gave Gloria a ride to the school. Gloria sat on stage looking lonely. Then she fell asleep. So did the audience. So without Officer Buckle, she doesn't have anything to act out. After Gloria left, Knappville School had its biggest accident ever. That's a tiny container of spilled banana pudding. It started with a puddle of banana pudding. Splat! Splatter! Everyone slid splat into Mrs. Topple, who screamed and let go of her hammer. So everyone's falling. She was on that wheelie chair and didn't listen to that tip, and now she's flying through the air in this hammer, and everybody's scared, and people might get hurt. I hope that they don't, but we'll see. The next morning, a pile of letters arrived at the police station. Every letter had a drawing of the accident. Officer Buckle was shocked. At the bottom of the pile was a note written on a paper star. Officer Buckle smiled. The note said, Gloria missed you yesterday. Your friend, Claire. P.S. Don't worry, I was wearing my helmet. Safety tip number 7. So that hammer that Mrs. Topple let go of bounced off of Claire's little head, but it was a good thing because she had her crash helmet on. Gloria gave Officer Buckle a big kiss on the nose. Officer Buckle gave Gloria a nice pat on the back. Then Officer Buckle thought of his best safety tip yet. Safety tip 101. Always stick with your buddy. So they were much better together when they teamed up. He had all of those really good facts that were important for his neighbors and his community to hear so that they could be safe. And Gloria helped make it more interesting and show really what would happen if they didn't follow these tips. And she did it in kind of a funny way, but it still helped everybody remember, like, oh, that's right. When Gloria and Officer Buckle came, we saw this accident that could happen, and so we're going to clean up spills. And then as soon as they weren't team members anymore, then people started to forget again. So it's really good to remind our neighbors to be safe. So that might be someone that you're living in your house with, so a brother, a sister, or a parent. And remember to be safe and a good neighbor to each other. So with that being said, it is time for our goodbye song. And because 2 of our characters today were animals, I thought it would be fun to do an animal-themed goodbye song. So in the song, you'll hear about certain kinds of animals, and it'll ask you to say goodbye like that specific type of animal. And what you'll do is you'll say goodbye like that animal would say. Are you ready? I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Okay, here we go. Say goodbye like a cat would say, meow, meow. Good. Say goodbye like a dog would say, woof, woof. Say goodbye like a fish would say, blub, blub. It's been a really, really fun time today. Say goodbye like a cow would say, moo, moo. Say goodbye like a pig would say, oink, oink. Say goodbye like an elephant would say, it's been a really, really fun time today. Say goodbye like a person would say, goodbye. Say goodbye like a person would say, ta-ta. Say goodbye like a person would say, goodbye. Can't wait to see you some other day. All together, one big goodbye. Goodbye. Thank you so much for joining me for story time today. If you had a good time watching this video and would like to see more, subscribe to our channel below so that you can get notifications when we post new videos. We try to post new videos about 3 times a week. If you're interested in supporting Arts on the Horizon, check out the link below or at the end of this video. Have a great day and see you again soon. Bye!